We're going to start off with our forgiveness today. And as we've been doing every day since January 1st, instead of New Year's resolutions, because everybody always falls off the wagon, breaks their New Year's resolution, we're doing something different. We're trying to bring the good karma to our Philly sports teams through forgiveness. And what better way to bring good energy, good vibes, good karma, release the negativity out of your soul, and just make your aura. I don't know. I'm not big into the auras, but I think it's probably like a bright color, a bright, glowing aura. Then to forgive people who have done us wrong here in Philly sports. And since it is a playoff week, we've been kind of having some tough ones this week. We've had Chip Kelly, Rich Kotite, and it's going to be more of the same today. Trying to do whatever we can to release that negativity and bring nothing but good vibes to our teams. So today, we are going to forgive Ruben Amaro Jr. and not for his play on the field. He was who he was as a player, just a kind of like a journeyman bench role player. He was on that 93 team. But no, we're going to forgive him for his time as general manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, Rube worked under Ed Wade and Pat Gillick, both of whom are largely responsible and very instrumental in building that championship 2008 Phillies team. A lot of the core guys were drafted by Ed Wade, and then Pat Gillick made some shrewd moves, bringing in guys like Shane Victorino, Jason Worth. I believe Carlos Ruiz was one of them, signing Pedro Feliz. All of those guys, like I said, played a pivotal part. Obviously, the bullpen, bringing Brad Lidge. I forget whether Ryan Matson was drafted by the Phillies or not. But either way, those two guys were very instrumental. But Ruben was a part of the staff for both of them as their time as general manager. Now, Ruben took over in 2009. To his credit, he did win 3 divisions and a pennant. But the team was mostly made up of the guys that the Ed Wade, Pat Gillick crew, the core guys were their guys. Ruben did win those divisions and make the World Series, though, by mortgaging the future, depleting the farm system, blah, blah, blah. We all know the story. And I always thought it was funny, mortgaging the future, because I read this one time long ago on Twitter. And essentially, anybody who's ever bought a house or bought a car or took out a loan is mortgaging their future. I just thought that was an interesting tidbit. But he depleted the farm system to bring in those guys. But to his credit, he was going for it. He saw that the window was the Phillies had a finite window. Ruben, he went for it. He was all about pitching. If you listen to him today, whether it's on Post Game Live, when he's on the broadcast, he talks about you can never have enough pitching. Went after Cliff Lee, Roy Halladay, Roy Oswalt, made the big move the same day the Eagles signed Nnamdi Asomugha for Hunter Pence. Also, too, I did do some research. He was responsible for drafting Aaron Nola and Rhys Hoskins, who also were big parts of the 2022 World Series team. But then he did have some questionable moves there late once he realized the farm system was depleted and there was nobody coming up. So he signed a bunch of aging veterans who just never worked out. Gave Ryan Howard the monster contract more as a reward for what he had done, more so than what he was going to produce, and really hamstrung the team there for a couple years. Because if you look at the numbers, Ryan was already starting to get nicked up, starting to get injured, and his numbers were declining when he signed the contract. Trading Cliff Lee for the first time was pretty dumb. I think if they'd have kept Cliff Lee and Roy Halladay that 2010 year, Phillies would have won another World Series. Of course, he overvalued Don Brown, called him a six-tool player, whatever that is, and really could have gotten a lot for him at the time and helped replenish the farm system, but didn't want to give him up. And we know Don Brown is known for basically having an amazing 6-week stretch as a Philly. Didn't sign and couldn't sign enough free agents to fill in the void that he left for the bullpen or the farm system. And I don't know, maybe if they had given him more time, he could have maybe replenish that. Like I said, he did work under Ed Wade, but we're going to forgive Ruben for trading Cliff Lee away in the first place when you could have had him and Roy Halladay at the same time, likely winning the 2010 World Series. We'll forgive him for the Ryan Howard contract. We'll forgive him for overvaluing Don Brown. We'll forgive him basically for 2012 through 2018. And I will say, if things played out differently in 09, 10, or 11, we're probably having a different conversation about Ruben Amaro. Had the Phillies won one more World Series during that window, I think we're having a different conversation about Ruben. However, they didn't. He earned the nickname Ruben Amaro Jr. And for that, Ruben, we forgive you because in the end, it did work out for the Phillies. Would have loved to have had one more World Series championship, but I think also deep down, Ruben is a Philly guy, born and raised here, and Penn Charter, if you watch the Goldbergs. So Ruben's a Philly guy, and in honor of our New Year's forgiveness and trying to bring the good vibes, we got to forgive a Philly guy. So Ruben Amaro, I forgive you. And if you want a little bonus for all of you out there, if you want to forgive him for his work on pre and post game live and the broadcast, you're more than welcome to do that. But I'm going to give you a hot take here. I actually don't mind Ruben Amaro too much when he's on the radio, when he's on the broadcast and everything. But you are more than welcome. If you want to get that little extra good karma and forgive him for that too, be my guest. But Ruben Amaro Jr., we forgive you basically for 2012 through 2018 when we had zero farm system. You depleted it all. But to your credit, you did go for it. So I respect that. And for that, and the fact you're a Philly guy, we forgive you.